Wondering how to record YouTube videos that get engagement on a budget without sacrificing the quality? Well, if you're an online entrepreneur who wants to use YouTube to market your business, then you're in the right place. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up smart, budget-friendly recording techniques that will make your content stand out and set up evergreen lead generation on autopilot for free. Plus, I'm going to share a secret tip that professional videographers use to get crystal clear audio without spending a ton of money on expensive recording equipment. Hi, I'm Amanda Vander Gulick from cleverdough.com, and welcome back to this 10-part series on using YouTube SEO, my full course on how to get your videos to rank on autopilot evergreen for free lead generation for your business. This is part 6, where I'm going to show you exactly how to record your videos on a budget that get you the best engagement from your audience so that YouTube's going to promote your videos for you. In the last video, we went over exactly how to lay out your video script for viewer engagement so you'd get those longer watch times, satisfied viewers, boosting your channel, increasing your subscribers, your views, and more importantly, your sales. You see, it wasn't until after my coma in 2016 that I realized how important using YouTube marketing was for your business. While I was asleep in a coma, literally fighting for my life, my channel, my videos kept providing income for me through ad revenue, through sales of my own, through affiliate commissions, and through book royalties, all on autopilot while I was asleep. Now, it wasn't much, just a handful of videos did really well, and most of them did not. However, even though it wasn't a lot, it was only a couple of $100 a month that I was earning on autopilot, it was the concept that I had set that up and I no longer needed to work at it to keep that going forward. So I knew it was just a numbers game, and to really dive deep and learn the strategies so I could share it with you, so you could do this for yourself as well. With over 7 million views on my channels now and over 13 years of experience doing this, I am excited to share my strategies on using YouTube SEO to get this for your own business. Which is why I'm so excited to share my top tips on how to record your videos without spending a ton of money, just on a simple budget, but creating good quality videos that your viewers will enjoy watching and get value out of, but more importantly, that the algorithm will promote for you for free. All right, so now that you know a little bit about my journey and why recording high quality videos on a budget is really important for your channel and your business, let's dive in right now to the actual things that will help you record the best videos possible to promote your business. Before I get into the specifics, I want you to take a look at this video. Does it look a little fuzzy? It's not really perfectly clear. I want to explain why I am sharing a video that's a little bit fuzzy when I'm talking about recording perfect videos for your audience. A couple of weeks ago, my cat knocked my web camera off my computer and it crashed and it ruined the 4K HD quality of the recording device. So I'm just waiting for my new webcam to arrive. However, I know as an online entrepreneur, you can't let those things stop you. So even though it hurts me to provide videos that are fuzzy right now, I know that the content I'm sharing is going to be so valuable to you that you'll forgive me for a little bit of a slightly fuzzy video, and my future ones will look a lot better. But I'm still going to share what I normally use and how it's going to help you as well. On a side note, do those kind of things ever stop you from taking action in your business when you run into an issue that feels overwhelming and doesn't seem to be in perfect alignment with what you want to achieve? Don't let it stop you. Keep going. Perfection is not done. Besides, your audience will forgive you for a little bit of a poor video quality, but they're not going to be so forgiving when you have very poor audio quality, which is why I'm going to share that special tip that professional videographers use to make it sound like you're in a studio. All right, so let's start with one of the most important aspects when it comes to recording your YouTube videos, and of course, how to do them on a budget, and that is your lighting. You need to have your face in the light. Don't ever sit with a window behind you and no light facing you. You would just be a dark silhouette and people won't be able to see your expressions and your talking, your eyes. You want people to be able to see you clearly. And so one of the best ways to light your videos is just to use natural lighting. That's right. Just literally sit in front of a window and have the window face you to provide that wash of natural sunlight. There's no better light than the sun. Not in our solar system anyway. Another way that you can get natural lighting and artificial lighting to work for you is to have it reflected on a white surface, shining back towards you to give you a nice soft glow, so it's not so sharp on the eyes. I'll show you in just a minute what I'm talking about to show you how that would work. You can also just get an affordable ring light or a box light. Just make sure that that ring light or box light has a nice white soft cloth cover over it to soften the glow on your face so you're not creating sharp shadows in your picture. And if it doesn't, you can turn it around and have it face a white wall and you'll get the same effect. I'll show you in just a minute because that's actually what I'm doing in this video right now. And try to avoid having a sharp light right above you facing down because it will create very hard shadow lines and make it very difficult on the viewer for watching your videos. And a cool thing that you can do to really add an extra 3D effect to your video is have a light that shines up the wall behind you, and you can use different colors, and then it will create that feeling that you are way closer than the wall, and it'll give a really neat 3D effect. Again, that's optional. We want to keep it simple. All right, let me show you my window. It's over here to my right, and it brings in natural lighting. And then if you look over there, you can see my ring light. It's actually pointed away from me, and it's shining the white light against the white wall. And then you can see over to my left, my door is closed, and it's also painted white. So it creates a reflection back to my face as well. And then as you can see, when you look at my face again, it's a soft white rather than a sharp, harsh light. So it can be that simple. All right, so now that you understand lighting, what devices should you use to record your YouTube videos on? And we don't want to be spending a ton of money on your equipment, delaying you from making your YouTube videos. Unless, of course, it's in your budget, then go ahead. But for right now, I want to focus on simple things that you can use to record your videos. One of the easiest recording devices that you can use that you probably already own is your phone. Just use your phone. The recording abilities on our phones nowadays, if it's a smartphone, like an iPhone or a Samsung or something like that, is amazing quality, even 4K. And I'll talk more about 4K in just a minute if you're not sure what that is. You can also use a webcam like what I'm using right now. I'll put an image on the screen here for you to show you what a webcam would look like if it's not already included in your computer, which it may already be. Just don't let your cats knock it off and ruin the quality of your video for you. And there are also a ton of affordable video cameras out there on the market you can probably find on Amazon. When you're looking for a video recording unit on its own, or go ahead and invest in an affordable camera to record your videos. And when you do, look for a mirrorless camera. You're going to get superior video quality. They're compact and lightweight. And they offer advanced features like recording in 4K, which again, I'll share in a minute why that's so important. They often have excellent autofocus, so you can be focused and it will be blurry behind you, which is actually something I'm going to be having on my new camera. And I'm so excited about that. It's going to make watching my videos so much more entertaining and easier on your eyes. The only thing with the mirrorless cameras is they do have a shorter battery life, but a workaround is simply to have it plugged in. You have a dummy battery that actually plugs into the wall, and then you don't have to worry about that. All right, so what are the benefits to recording in 4K, and what exactly does that mean? So 4K just means you're increasing the resolution of your video, which gives a lot more pixels in your video so that it's much clearer when you zoom in and so on. So 4K resolution has 4 times the pixels than full HD, for example. This makes your videos look sharper and more professional. Plus, with the 4K quality, you can zoom in really close and get a nice crystal clear image. You see, as 4K becomes more standard, by recording your videos in 4K, it keeps your videos relevant as the devices change and over time, so that your videos will still show up really clear and professional as things change. And they also offer more opportunity when it comes to color grading your videos, so you get more of that studio quality in your videos. And what's really cool is that even if you record in 4K, but you want to downgrade it to 1080, the quality of the 1080 will actually end up being even more crystal clear, just because you recorded it first with 4K. It's pretty cool. And this is because as you downscale it, it reduces the noise and increases the sharpness of your video, so it's better quality than if you originally filmed in 1080. So you won't end up with a fuzzy image like what you see right now. It still really bugs me that it's fuzzy, but I know I need to get this out to you. Perfect is not done, right? The most important reason you want to use 4K when you can is because YouTube prefers 4K video. It will actually promote your video for you more if you provide 4K quality because it knows it enhances the viewer's engagement and viewer's experience. So it actually looks at the size of your video and the quality of your video, and the better the quality is, it will actually promote your videos more for you. But again, if you have a slow internet or you just don't have the camera's capability to do 4K, don't let that stop you. But when you do have that ability, go for it. Take advantage of it. All right, so now let's just talk about setting up your camera so that it's stable, so you're not having to hang on to it and it can record you. It can be as simple as just adding a layer of books on a shelf and holding your video camera against it pointed toward you. It doesn't have to be expensive. And when you're able to, you can get yourself a super simple little tripod like this guy, or like this guy. It comes out and sits down, and then this holds your camera right there. And of course, if you get a ring light, it has a stand right on the ring light to hold your video camera in the center of the light so that all the light around it is focused on you and you get great quality lighting that way. And again, make sure your camera is stable so your cats don't knock it off. When you're setting up yourself in the frame of your video, you want to have yourself centered with a little bit of space above, up to about your chest, and a little bit of space to the side. That is going to be a nice viewer experience for your viewer. They're going to feel close and engaged with you. It gives you the opportunity to zoom in and zoom out, which makes it a lot easier when recording your videos. I'm going to share a couple of tips about actually how to record the speech of your videos and how that's going to help you with the zooming. So I'll share that in just a minute. Plus, it's just more natural to watch a video and see people in that center. If I'm off to the side the whole time talking to you, your focus is kind of over here, wondering what the heck I'm doing way over here. Plus, then you also see the scratch on my wall, again, for my cats. When you're ready to record, do a test first. Don't just start recording, do a test first to see that the audio is on, that you're positioned properly. Just do a quick 1, 2, 3. And then stop and watch it and make sure all of those aspects, your lighting, your audio, and your position is going to be exactly what you want for your end result. Now let's talk about sound, how to record the sound. You can have your computer record the sound, but it does tend to then bring across the sounds of the computer and the sounds around the environment, which can be very distracting for the viewer. What I'm using right now is a Yeti mic. And this is a mic, and I've got this bit on front, and you can see how the audio has changed when I turned it around. It's focused to record directly towards me, and it takes away the sounds around it. So when I turn away from it, it sounds different. Do you hear that? Right? And this Yeti mic was, I believe, roughly about $100 on Amazon. And that will just give you a little bit more of that studio quality focused audio. It's best if you can have it straight in front of you. I have it slightly to the side, but it's focused directly towards my voice, so it picks up the sound pretty well that way. You can also use what's called a lavalier mic, which then just clips to your clothes, and you can always put the wire inside so it's not so obvious. They do come in different colors, so you can always color code it to match whatever you're wearing if you don't want somebody to notice it. However, it's really not this distracting. People do expect to see a mic. They also have, and that one would be plugged straight into your computer or your phone. And this is really great to use when you're walking outside or you're in a noisy environment. Like right now, because I'm a lung patient, I have to have air circulating all the time, or else I lose my voice and I lose my ability to think. So I actually have a fan going right now, blasting air at me. You might be able to actually see some of my hair moving slightly, and it makes a lot of noise. But because I'm using a very directional mic, you don't really notice it. I'm sure if you paid attention, you might hear it, but it's not overwhelming. And when you're walking outside, you're going to get a lot of that sound, you know, the traffic going by, the wind hitting it. It might be rubbing against your shirt. And so that's why you want to use something like this that has a little foam around it. It's going to help take away that sound. So if I was just using the phone itself, right? If I was just using the phone itself and using the speaker that's in the, or the mic that's in the phone, it would pick up on all those external noises. But when I plug in the lavalier mic, then it's more directional, and you want to have it focused somewhere within here, whether it's on a headband, I want to say, but you know what I mean, one that hooks over your ear, or on your lapel, so that it's getting this part of your voice, and that's where it resonates the nicest for clear sound. Oh, and I have a really cool tip. So when I showed you the Yeti mic, you can see that I have like this foam cover on the top of it with cat hair on it, of course, you know, cat lady. And on my lapel mic, you can see as well, there's a foam cover over it, right? Like this is what the mic looks like, and it has this foam cover over it. I have had phone mics, you know, for if you want to have your mic hooked up to your phone so you can answer calls, that didn't have the foam. And the workaround I did, I just grabbed a pair of socks and I put it over the end of the mic and then spoke into it, and it gave a nice crystal clear sound as well. But there's another thing when it comes to the sound that your mics will pick up on, and it's like an echo from the room around you, especially if you have smooth walls and wooden floors or tile floors, or a big room with lots of flat surfaced furniture in it. You're going to get this echo, and I'm going to share what you can do to fix that when I share that tip that I told you about earlier. So I'm just going to share that in a second. Now, when it comes to your background, you want to keep it fairly simple. So in this case, you can see I'm standing in a room that has a sloped ceiling because I'm upstairs and it's an old farmhouse. And I just have one type of wallpaper so that it's not too distracting. It's a little busy because of the flower pattern, but because I tend to wear clothes that kind of match with it, it's not super distracting for you, right? And because I do have this scratch in the wall over here, I try to position myself so that that's not going to catch your eye. I try not to move too much to the side, right? So that it's distracting. Now you could have like a simple shelf in the background. Plants are a really great element to add to your videos. They just add more personality and more depth, more connection with your audience. You feel more like you're in someone's home or in someone's office when there's some plants. And on a side note, if you use plants with rounded leaves, it gives the feeling of abundance. And if you use the plants with sharp points and pointy leaves on it, it actually gives the psychological feeling of, ooh, sharp, ow. So have rounded plants. That's just a little side tip for you. Incorporate the branding colors of your company. So as far as like having props in your background, keep it, again, fairly basic and simple. An example I can give you is if you were a chiropractor, you could have, you know, one of those skeleton where it shows the back arch, just giving that idea of, yes, I'm speaking with a chiropractor. I'm watching the channel of a chiropractor. I can see that they work on bones, for example, right? Or maybe your channel was all about cats. You could have maybe a photo frame of you with your cats just in the background. And some YouTubers like to have a little board that has some words on it, their main branding words. Maybe it's their business name or it's their main key phrase from their entire channel that they would have. So I could have a board back there that's just like YouTube marketing, for example, because the algorithm actually will pick that up, and subliminally your audience will keep seeing that over and over again, but not having it as a distraction. Does that make sense? Another trick that you can do when recording your videos, just to change up the backgrounds a bit, it makes it more engaging for your viewers, is to have B-roll and record in different areas and then piece them together. Kind of like what I did when I showed you my lighting setup and I had another camera. I had my daughter film me talking to you, showing you the different parts of my room and how the lighting affected my video. And it just gives you like that intimate feel of being inside the home or inside the office with you. So having different angles, you could have a phone set up over here, you could have a camera set up over here, and it just gives you different directions and it makes it more engaging for your viewer. But again, it's not necessary. You can see that other than showing you that B-roll, I'm still just using one main source for my video position, and that's okay. All right, so now when it comes to actually connecting with your audience, you want to look directly at the camera. So I have a video script in front of me because in our last video, I showed you how to set up your video script, right? But I am talking naturally to you. I look at my script and I find out what I'm talking about, and then I just take that information and I look at you and I share that information. And that's a really great way, a natural way to bring across your message to your viewer. And so what you want to do is look directly in the lens of your camera, but almost look actually beyond the camera as if there is somebody right behind the camera and you're talking to that person. Like, do you feel like I'm talking to you right now? Because I am. On that note, only speak to one person. Never start with, hey guys. You know, a lot of YouTubers will do that, but it makes you feel disengaged from the speaker if they know they're speaking just to you, just that one person, which is why you choose your perfect avatar. You, for example, somebody who wants to use YouTube marketing to set up evergreen marketing for their lead generation for their business, right? On autopilot. That is you. If that's not you, you're probably not still watching my video. Does that make sense? Sometimes I find it helpful, especially when you first start out, to imagine that person on the end of the camera is actually just your best friend and you're sharing your knowledge with your best friend. It helps you not sound salesy or weird or robotic, right? It makes it more natural, more flowing than if you're just talking to a camera itself, because that feels kind of odd. Another thing, you can see how I'm kind of moving around a bit here. I'm standing up, and I highly recommend when you're recording your videos to stand up. It will give you more energy. You'll come across more clear. You'll be able to think a little bit clearer. You just have more energy that you can share with your audience, with that person watching your video. When you're sitting still, after a while, the energy kind of start to sag, and you want to keep your energy up. You want to have positive, fast energy, as I say it slowly. You want to have positive, fast energy while you're recording, right? To keep people engaged. You don't want to speak super, super fast when they can't understand you. You want to articulate your words, but you want to do it in a quicker manner. Don't take too much time, because that can really distract your viewer and then they'll just click off. However, there are many people who are the kind of people that need you to slow down. So a trick that you can do is speak what your natural speak is. And if it's naturally slower, make sure you speed it up in places. And then if it's naturally faster, make sure you slow down in places. Kind of stagger how you speak to the camera so you are addressing all the different kinds of viewers who are your perfect avatar, but with their specific learning style of listening and watching. And show your hands. There is something that's actually been proven that when you're talking and you're engaging and you're using your hands, even though I know a lot of presenters will be like, don't show your hands, keep your hands straight and this and that. But when you're actually engaging in natural conversation with your friends and family, you do use your hands, and people will trust you more when they know what you're up to. What are your hands up to, right? That you're not just, I'm hiding something behind my back. Like, show, be open and share. And that will actually help the engagement of your videos and the performance of how well you sell your products when you're using your hands. Pretty cool, right? Trust me, it really does make a difference. It builds trust with your audience. It enhances the communication and understanding of what you're talking about. For example, when I was talking about the framing and I was able to visually show you what I meant. And it builds confidence. People who talk with their hands usually know exactly what they're talking about, so it builds that confidence in your viewer, in you. On that note, smile. Smile while you're talking. People are more engaged when you smile. If I was standing here and I was talking to you like this and I was just telling you this and that, I don't sound very excited about what I'm talking about. And then you're like, well, why is this even important for me to listen to if you're not even excited about it, right? Smile, engage with your viewer by smiling. Now, of course, if you're going to talk about something that is dire, like when I was in a coma, I'm not like, yeah, I was in a coma. I mean, it was a huge thing in my life that changed everything for me. So when I talk about it, I like to show the impact of why it's so important. See how my face is like furrowing naturally when I start to talk about it. Why it was so important for me to learn ways that I could earn money that didn't require all my energy that I no longer had with my disabled lungs. So see how my face is changing. Smile, but change your expression depending on what you're talking about. Smiling will actually also reduce your own stress and anxiety and make it much more natural for you to speak on camera. Give it a try. And it creates a positive branding experience for your brand and your viewer. Oh, here's something that's really interesting. When you're speaking to your viewer, keep your focus on your viewer. Try not to go off and think about this. That shows you're not confident. Why are you having to think about what you're saying, right? That's usually an up when you're thinking. Or that could feel like if you're looking down, that can feel like an insecurity. I hope they're okay with what I'm saying. I hope it's okay. To see how it takes away the trust. Like when I'm just talking to you and I know what I'm talking about, it feels better. All right. You're going to have occasional moments when, oh, you forgot something. That's normal. That's natural. Don't worry about that. And, oh, what was I doing? Don't worry about that. But start paying attention when you're watching back your videos and see if you do that more often, and really try to focus as much as possible on your viewer. Which of these tips have been most helpful for you so far? Like which things were you not aware of and that's like new and it's like an aha moment? Let me know in the comments. I would really love to know which of these tips you found most helpful and that you're really looking forward to using in your next video. I read all of the comments. I will comment right back to you. If you have a question, go ahead and ask it in there as well. And thank you, because when you share your thoughts, it helps me make even better videos for you in the future, and I really appreciate that. Plus, you're also giving the algorithm a cue that there is engagement with a video, and that means if you're enjoying this content, it's going to now show it to other viewers just like yourself, and so you're actually helping me be able to share this with more entrepreneurs just like yourself, and then together we can just do better on YouTube, and I really appreciate that, so thank you. All right, so now we want to also make sure that we're capturing what's called B-roll. So your main script is your A-roll, and anything that's added on, like when I showed you my lighting setup, that was called B-roll. And so when you're writing out your script, you can actually already incorporate into the idea of your script, where would you like to show B-roll? So in my case, I wanted to show you my actual lighting setup. So I knew I was going to create B-roll footage of that to then edit into the video on top of when I was talking. So you don't actually hear the sound of the B-roll, but you see my mouth moving because I was talking to the webcam and I was then talking to the camera, right? But the sound was from the webcam, or actually from my Yeti mic over here, not from the camera on my phone that we used for the B-roll. And so when you're talking about the different topics in your niche on your channel, and you notice over time, I often talk about walking my dog. I often talk about making lists. I often talk about whatever it is that you often talk about. Start getting footage of yourself doing those things, because then you can create a library of B-roll footage that has you in it, that then is a nice congruent B-roll to use in your videos and really engages your audience to be like, wow, I've seen that person in their environment doing these things. It's a little bit more of an intimate connection than using stock footage, which is also okay to use. But if you can get some of yourself doing those tasks on a continual basis that you can just use for videos over time, it creates this congruency and this consistency over time that will really help your viewers engage with you better. So now talking about the stock footage that you can use in your editing software program, if you're using Descript or Canva or Camtasia, or if you're on an Apple, I've forgotten the name, what it's called, an Apple uses, Film Pro. See how I'm looking up because I can't remember it. Anyway, if you're an Apple user, you'll know what it's called. They will also have film assets that you can use as B-roll footage, and usually it's an added pay to get access to those B-roll footages. Now you can also use sites like Pixabay, iStockPhoto, and there are some free assets you can use, and then of course you can invest in their pro versions to get more assets that you can use. So that if I was talking to you about setting up your video script, I could have some footage of somebody else writing out a script for their video overlaid on top of while I was talking, and it just adds more engagement. Plus it's showing what you're talking about, and showing what you're talking about helps the viewer to retain the information, and it's just more engaging for them. Have you noticed the B-roll footage that we've been sprinkling throughout this video to help you take the concepts and ideas of what I'm talking about so that you can visually absorb that information better? Those are the images that are going to stick in your mind longer than just listening to me talk. And did you know you can actually use AI to create B-roll footage for your videos? You can go to AI like DALL-E or Midjourney, and there are a whole bunch of other ones, and you can just type in what you want. I want a person who is running with their dog in the park, right? And then it will create that B-roll footage for you specific to what your video is about, which is amazing. May not be quite the same quality as a real live shot, but the way it's going, it's getting so good that it's almost hard to tell the difference. And the cool thing is that you can make your B-roll footage exactly about what your video is about, which is amazing. And then the last kind of B-roll footage that you want to use, sometimes it might actually be your A-roll. It may just be your main video style content for your video, but oftentimes it's your B-roll, and that is to use screen capture. So you're capturing what's on your screen, and so that you can talk about what's going on your screen or showing it to people what you're doing. And so programs like Camtasia have the ability to screen capture. Descript has that ability as well, although if you use Descript, unless they fixed it, right now when I'm making this video, if you use Descript to capture your screen, and you also wanted to keep your talking head at the same time, your talking head shows up on the screen. So anything that's on the bottom left corner, if you wanted to show it to your audience, it's not going to show because that head is there. I think you can move your head around to different places, but wherever your head is, it won't actually record what's behind it. So that's why I actually still use Camtasia when I'm doing screen recordings, but then I'll use Descript to help with adding the B-roll footage, for chopping up those pieces easier, like I said. And again, I'm going to show you more about exactly how to edit your videos to get the best engagement for those longer watch times in a minute. But I just wanted to sprinkle that in there so you know that screen capture with Descript, unless you're okay with only your picture and not what's behind it, then yeah, you might want to use a different one. Canva, I believe, also allows screen capture. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't tested that yet. And I will show you the different programs that I use in a little bit. To help you save time and stay organized, you can create storyboards of your videos, or just follow that script outline that I talked about earlier to keep you on track. And keeping a checklist, maybe in your script itself, of the B-roll footage that you want and of the takes that you want to do will help you make sure during your recording session that you get those things, so that not days later you're like, I needed to have footage of me walking my dog in the park to show, and then whatever it was that you were showing, and you don't have it, and I have to go out and create that footage. So having a list already in place, ready for when you're recording, will save you so much time, so you're not having to go back and forth with that. And another thing that's going to save you so much time, and it was a godsend when I learned about it, about it from my mentors, Trina Little, Gillian Perkins, Sunny Leonarduzzi, amazing women who teach online entrepreneurship using YouTube, highly recommend them, was to bulk batch my content, to write out my scripts and then record more than one video at a time, whether it was 2 videos, 3 videos, 4 or more. I like to do 4 if possible, depending on how my lungs are doing. And that way you only have to do your hair once, you only have to do your makeup once. Now, as you can see, I don't do a lot with my hair and I don't wear any makeup, but you understand what I'm talking about. It stops that need for having to record a video every week, edit it, upload it, promote it, and then you find yourself not having time for all the other things you need to do in your business. Instead, you could take one day to script out your videos, one day to record 4 of them. Now you've got 4 weeks worth of content that you can use. And then you've got the rest of the month to stagger things, to upload, to promote, to do all the rest of the stuff that you need to do. So I am so grateful I learned that, and I wanted to make sure that I shared that with you because it's going to save you so much time. Plus, when you're recording a bunch of videos in a row, you get really in the zone and you're able to create so much nicer content for your viewers because everything's just rolling and streaming along so smoothly. And a tip about what you can do if you don't want to always be wearing the same thing, just change your shirt, just change your earrings or your jewelry. You don't have to change everything else, only what's in the screen. So if you wanted to have 4 videos for 4 weeks and you didn't want to wear the same clothes in all of those videos, you would just have 4 shirts available. You wear one, you do your video recording, you change your shirt, and then you do your next one, and so on. Isn't that amazing? You'll notice something I did in my series here. I've been wearing the same shirt, the same earrings, and the same necklace for the entire series. I also wore my hair the same way, and I put a little bit of lip gloss on for all of the videos so far, except for one when I forgot. You can go back and see if you can figure out which one I forgot. Anyway, the reason I'm doing that is because I wanted to give that feeling of congruency, this was all like one sitting, one recording, that this whole course is all in one take kind of thing. When in reality, this has actually been taking me weeks to do, because with my lungs, I can only do so much recording at once. And then I need days off to recover in order to even get back on track to start writing out my next scripts and stuff like that. And I also didn't want you guys to be distracted within the series, to be like focused on, oh, what is she wearing now? Oh, what is she wearing now? It became so regular that I'm always wearing this blue shirt. I'm always wearing the same jewelry. All you need to do is focus on what I'm teaching you, right? And so I did that intentionally. So you can decide what's going to work best for your videos. But I just wanted to share why I was doing that and why I look the same for this particular series. Okay, so this is the tip that Trina Little taught me, and I am so grateful to her for sharing it. When you record your videos, take a moment to just sit and look at your camera and take a still. Change your expression. Take another still. And you want to get a couple of different images that you can use for your thumbnail. Wearing the same clothes with the same background, it just adds congruency. Again, now if you forget, it's no big deal. You can use other footage that you have, in your library. That is fine. But if you want something that just flows naturally, people see the thumbnail and they come into the video and everything is the same. It all flows together. It feels nice and natural, and it stops the viewer from being like, oh, I'm in the wrong place, I should go. It's like, oh, I'm in the right place. Okay, let me listen. All right, so remember that tip I shared about getting crystal clear audio that professional videographers use so that it sounds like studio quality sound, which will improve your watch times dramatically because it sounds so much better than if you were listening to a really echoey or noisy video? I'm gonna share that right now. It's so simple. It's so cost effective. It makes it so easy to record YouTube videos on a budget. Just throw some blankets on the floor, some cushions around on your chairs and on different furniture in your room to absorb the echoey sound. And it's so simple. A rug on your floor, you take a duvet from your bed, you put it on the ground below you. Nobody will see it, but it will absorb the sound of that, the ricocheting of the sound and hitting those solid reflective surfaces. And it makes it so soft and clear to listen to. Isn't that cool? Okay, so now that you understand how to record high quality videos on a budget, the next step is to understand exactly how to edit those videos to make sure that you're bringing across that high quality, but also saving yourself a ton of time and creating consistency in your videos so your viewers are understanding what to expect from you and you're not throwing them off with weird things that come randomly unless it's intentional. And of course, editing it in such a way that the viewers will remain all the way through to the end of your videos, getting you that so important watch time that the algorithm is looking for. So I'm going to show you what to focus on when editing your videos. Before I do, was this helpful so far? If so, can you let me know? Just do a thumbs up, or if it wasn't, put a thumbs down. It's okay. It helps me know what kind of content to create for you, what's going to help you the most, and I really appreciate that. Plus, again, you're showing the algorithm engagement, and I appreciate that, because if this was helpful for you, it's going to be helpful for someone just like you, and they're only going to see it if the algorithm knows that you're enjoying this content. So thank you. And of course, if you want to know when my next videos come out to help you with more strategies on how to use YouTube evergreen marketing for your business to create those generated automatic leads on autopilot that don't cost you anything, like free ads from Google and YouTube, then feel free to subscribe to my channel. It's free, but when you do, make sure that you do hit that notification bell, because if you don't say all notifications, YouTube actually doesn't show you when my videos come out. And that's a good tip to know for any other creators that you follow. If you are subscribed to them and you're wondering, why am I not noticing? It's because you didn't hit that bell. So make sure you do that. If this is not interesting for you, please do not subscribe. It does not help my channel if the wrong viewers are subscribed. And trust me, I know this because I had over 40,000 viewers who were interested in cake decorating. And then when I would release these videos, and the YouTube algorithm would show it to them and they'd be like, not for me. The algorithm thought the video quality wasn't good. I had to retrain the algorithm and say, actually, I don't bake cakes anymore. I can't do that after my coma. Instead, this is what I now focus on. And it's like, oh, okay. And so I actually just don't show my new videos to those older subscribers now to make sure that you are getting the videos, the perfect viewer, the one I want to help. And if you're enjoying this, this is part 6 of the full 10-part YouTube SEO full course. And if you'd like to have access to all 10 parts of it and plus some extra tools and tips that are going to help you, then you can sign up for this series for free. I'll put a link in the description below or here on the screen. Just go to cleverdough.com/evergreen leads and you can sign up for free, no cost. And that way, every single day you're going to get one of these lessons. You can watch it faster if you want to, but that way you'll have it spaced out for yourself to make it a little bit easier to absorb all the information, because I know I'm sharing a lot. I hope it's really helpful. Okay, so now that you have mastered how to actually record your YouTube videos on a budget for those longer watch times, let's dive into how to actually edit those videos so that it's going to be more engaging for your viewer and they're going to be less likely to click off. It's going to be more entertaining, but bring across your message clearer and save you a ton of time editing. And I'm even going to share a special tip about my first experience with hiring an editor and tips that I want to share with you on if you're ready to hire an editor, which I highly recommend when you get there. So head over here and I'm going to share all of that with you. I can't wait. We're going to dive right in. I'm going to show you exactly what to do. I'll see you over here. Come on.